Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the reviewing of the finale of My Dress Up Darling, episode 12, the title of the show, My Dress Up Darling. And so after reviewing the great finale of Yashahime Season 2, this here was also another great finale for such a fantastic show that I've thoroughly enjoyed. My Dress Up Darling, I said before, it's an absolute 10 out of 10. Fantastic. It's 10 out of 10. It's one of the best animes I've seen. Well, the Great Giant Knight Defeated I reviewed last year was great too, right? No doubt about it, though, right? Because, well, it's a different type of they're a different type of comedy. This is a romantic comedy, but I think this is one of the best romantic comedies of animes I've seen. And let alone, not only that Marin is on my list of my favorite anime girls, but I gotta put them as a list between her and Gojo. Her and Gojo as the best couple, I could say as well. Even though in this finale they didn't say they officially got together though, but how the way it ended especially with Marin saying that she confessed saying I love you, even though despite the fact Gojo fell asleep though. But at least even though they never kissed either, but at least we have Marin here finally saying the words to him, even though he's asleep though, but she says the words, I love you. That was good enough for me. Definitely good enough for me, because these two, Marin and Gojo, were absolutely perfect. They're perfect together. They are, like I said before, they're meant to be together. Their hearts are for each other. And I've never seen better character writing, you know. And after this, I know I definitely want a season 2 now. I definitely want a season 2. Because I want to continue seeing their relationship, you know, with the much comedy and such the romance as well. There's definitely there has to be a season 2. It may not be soon though. It may not come out like next year or so, but we'll definitely have to get a season 2 now. Definitely. But and like I said, this is I gotta say once again the animation. The voice cast, and I give credit to the studio that did this series too, because everything I have to give credit for. The studio of Cloverworks, they did a great job with this show. I give them two thumbs up for this. Cloverworks did a fantastic job with this series. Their production was on point, fantastic, and I have to give credit to that as well, to the studio. I want to get them a second season for this, please. So, set Marin right there. Probably could see her right there now. But yeah. But how we could opening up, you know, from especially the hilarious of the last episode, but with Gojo and Marin, you know, they're kind of like doing like helping. He's over at her house right now doing her homework and all that stuff. And explain about the festival that, you know, the fireworks and stuff that's happening. Because since summer vacation is coming to a close, Marin said that her father canceled on her. He wasn't going to go with her. So Gojo's going to go with her because interesting, because when the firework festival happened, you know, like the years before he met Marin, he would just stay in his room because he thinks it was just a noisy distraction from doing what he likes to do, like making the Hina dolls, right? And so he never thought that was interesting because it was just a noisy distraction, and he had no interest in going to the fireworks. But ever since now he has with Marin now, he has an opportunity to go to see how this festival is. Because like I said, he always just stayed in his room and doing his Hina dolls, so he never get a chance to go out and do places. He was always just stuck in his room. So now going to before they go to the festival, they watch a horror movie, and thing is it gonna be scary, right? And Maria's like, nah, it's not gonna be that scary. the quick shot for her from that making that silly face, it's not that scary, to the quick shot for her to like sort of being scared, right? And then Gojo is like the opposite. He may think he was gonna be scared, but he's not. He's actually just watching it so seriously, you know, just watching thoroughly of what this movie is, you know, seeing if it's any scary or not, right? He has that serious look on his face, just watching very carefully, right? And finally, really, I had a joke about this. Well, first of all, the animation of the movie that they're watching is really great because they really go out. They really go all out on making like the anime or movies in their world. The animation they do for it, like the anime they were watching, like sort of like kind of like make like '90s quality, like Sailor Moon was. Here, the animation in the movie they're watching is really great, and I had a laugh. I had a laugh at this because I did not expect to see that an anime version of this. When it came to the ending of the movie they were watching, was the ending of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And it wasn't Leatherface, but it was them with the long haired woman with holding a chainsaw chasing after the girl that's in the truck laughing hysterically. That's Sally Hardesty. At the ending of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's the exact same shot, and then it ends with the woman wielding the chainsaw frantically like Leatherface at the end of the movie. I'm like, wow, I did not expect to see like an anime version of the ending of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I did not even see. When I saw that, I was like, I was like laughing hysterically. I'm like, that was great, you know. And you know, finally, how sad that is. I got more interested in seeing an anime version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre more than I got in the freaking new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out on Netflix that came out last month. How sad is that? Yes, I did see that new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and it freaking sucked ass. And it's sad that I'm more interested in seeing an anime version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre more than that new goddamn movie that I saw on Netflix. How sad is that? At least that movie had no creativity at all. Here, at least I saw some creativity in this because I did not expect to see an anime version of that. And My Dress Up Darling just absolutely nailed it for me. That was a big surprise for me. That's why I gotta give props to the show because I did not expect to see that. I mean, exact same ending except change Leatherface from that one long-haired girl you see look like from The Ring. Into like a anime version of Sally Hardesty laughing hysterically when there's the truck's driving away and all that stuff. I mean, that was absolutely great. And then by the time when they go to the festival, like Marion's wearing a komodo and her hair is pulled up in a bun, and once again Gojo is like shocked to see how pretty she looked. And she's trying to make him notice. Oh, look, I wore this thing on my neck, and he's like, oh. So, once again, stunned look on him because he's seen how pretty she looks. Because remember, under his breath, he said how beautiful she's beautiful, you know. And like I said, their chemistry is so perfect together, you know. They're meant to be together, you know. They both know their hearts are for each other. They love each other. And I've never seen better character writing for this, you know. And I would say it has to be... It's not corny. It's not cheesy. Not in the slightest. No, it's not that. I would probably say even realistic, you know. Maybe that's going too far. Maybe it's a strong word for me to say for these two characters. But it does sound like realistic, you know, because they treat each other like with Gojo, right? He was just an ordinary guy, you know, most of him being a loner, keeping to himself, right? Until he met her, who was this beautiful girl, possibly the hottest or the most popular girl in school, right? And why would she end up with him, right? But the thing is, with Gojo, she sees her not because, you know, she knows of her passion for cosplay and all stuff, but he looks at her as for a generally good, fun person, you know. And the same thing with Gojo, you know. He's just a generally good. He was just a generally a good guy, a nice personality, you know, average guy, and just happened to be basically falling in love with. Not because she's most popular girl scorer, the hottest, but seeing her just falling in love with her just in general, you know. And that's what I like about it. I think that's probably say I go with realistic, but maybe it's probably too strong of a word though. But that's how I view it, you know. And the drama is not forced either. I didn't see no forced drama in this at all. None in this, and especially not in this whole entire series either. So that's another good positive I can say about the show that I thoroughly enjoy about. And so, they're buying and then they're just buying all these foods, and then she's eating a slushie or shaved ice, so they call it shaved ice, you know. But then they get that really nice, beautiful animation when the fireworks are going, and you see them both standing around, and the camera just rotates from where they're staring, you know, like this, and looking upward as the fireworks are going. Well done animation. I love that. I love how beautiful the animation with the fireworks goes, and they were just as the camera's moving as they're staring up at the look of the fireworks. And then also that when just Gojo's just staring at Marin, that saying how looking how nice she is, and you get the funny moment. You can see then you get and the whole romantic part that gets interrupted when Marin just goes and sticks her tongue out like ugh, because she was eating the slushie and her tongue is blue, right? It ends with a funny moment like that, and then Gojo like carries her. Pinker kind of like starts carrying her away because the foot straps on her flip flops was hurting her feet, right? So he ends up carrying her, and he's getting all nervous because he's carrying her on his back, right? And he's also kind of like feeling her chest pressing against his back, right? And then it ends. Then you get the end credits though, but then it ends up more than that, continuing after the end credits, and I guess and the relationship gets more resolved because they're at their own homes, right? And they're both going to bed, and I'll give them this nice. And they're talking on the phone still, and they're both in bed. And they're talking on their phone, and you get this nice view shot, right? Because they're both in their own beds at home, and they're talking on the phone. And I like this one shot where, like, either both of their phones are like one phone, right? And it gets split into both of their beds. Like, Marin, Gojo's right here on his bed. The phone is right here in the middle. It can be both of their phones, right? As they're talking to each other, and then this side here is Marin, as if like they're in. It kind of makes like the same like they're in bed together, but it's not. And which that was a nice, good looking shot too, though. And as they're both talking, and Gojo's is about to pass out, fall asleep, right? And there's the thing about how their relationship was ever since they first met, within that whole year since they met, right? And it gets me. It's a nice reflection how their relationship is built throughout this whole series ever since they first met, right? And then as soon as when Gojo falls asleep, and then Marin goes straight up and says, "I love you." And although he didn't hear her though because he fell asleep, and he's like, well, "What was the point of that?" But even though she thought it was funny, and he's like, before she turns off the phone, he goes like, "Hey, I'll see you later. See you next time," right? Kind of like he's like saying that to Gojo, but it's also like saying it to us, the viewers, as well. And that was a great ending to it. Even though they did not kiss or anything, though, but her to say that sure says "I love you," that's good enough for me. Even though he fell asleep, and he didn't hear it though. She finally said she confessed to him, said that she loves him, and that was good enough for me. And that's why I was telling basically Gojo and us, the viewers, saying that, hey, we'll see you soon, or see you next time. How it ended, and that's why I want to have a second season. There has to be a second season. I know probably they want to wait because for the manga to finish up, right? So that we go more straight from the material, So, but we have to get a second season because this ended it perfectly. I mean, this show is, like I said, it's a 10 out of 10. Everything about was fantastic. Yeah, there's a couple of lewd bits though, but the thing is, though, it's how the character writing was the most important thing about this, But the production was spot on, animation, right? But it was the chemistry of Marin and Gojo. That's what made the show work so much, and they were just spot on, perfect together. Their relationship showed that these two are meant to be together. They love each other, especially when Marin she admitted that she says she loves him. And I want to see. We have to get a season 2 so that they can show they can get like a proper when they first confess to each other face to face, say that they love each other and kiss, whatever. We have to get a second season so we can see even more cool cosplay, even more funny moments between the two of them, even more with Shinju and Juju as well, and more with Gojo's grandpa. Everything about it was just really great about the show. It was hysterically funny, and it was a great romance, between the two. That's why if I had to pick a list for especially anime couples, these two are definitely on there, no doubt about it. And for Marin is one of the best anime girls I've seen in a long time as well. So she's definitely on that list too. And Gojo, he was also a great character as well. For coming from being a loner for most of his life, stuck in his room, until all that changed when he met Marin, you know. And ever since then, he's been doing more things out of his comfort zone, getting out more, and even though having more embarrassing things, you know, because he's never had any experience with hanging out with girls either. So it's a new experience for him, you know. Everything about him was developed well throughout this whole entire series. My Dress Up Darling, it's been a fantastic series for me to watch, and I'm glad I saw this because I was looking up, you know, other series I can probably review, you know, and when this popped up, you know, I was curious about it, and I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I saw My Dress Up Darling. It was a fantastic 10 out of 10 show for me. 2 thumbs up. The ending of Yashahime Princess Half Demon Season 2 was a great finale. I just hope there was like I mentioned, possible Season 3, hopefully, maybe. If it ends the way it is, if there's no Season 3, that's perfectly fine, though, right? But it's a possibility, because a little bit of hints they may go for a Season 3, but, like I said, who knows? We'll have to wait for confirmation, like I said. But this here definitely needs a Season 2. Definitely needs a Season 2. Because you can't just end it like something as great as that and just end it abruptly like that, right? So yeah, we need a Season 2. We want to see more great things between Gojo and Marin. Definitely. We need a Season 2. And for a proper love confession, all that stuff too. So yeah, My Dress Up Darling, episode 12, the same name. Fantastic, you know. And it's been great characters. I haven't seen great character for a couple like this in an anime in a long time, and they just cemented it. And I want to see a second season for this, no doubt about it. Yeah, so it's been really great. So that's the final closure on My Dress Up Darling. Great 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up, all the praise I can give it. Now let's stay tuned for the finale of the Genius Princess Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. That's going to be coming up too. So yeah, all these good series are coming to an end. But later time I'll have to put out a video for what's the next animes I'm going to be reviewing for during the spring, because this has been the winter when it started back in January. So. But yeah, I'll have to do a video for what other upcoming anime that seems interested to me, and I'll give those a watch, maybe. Not maybe, I think I will, because like I said, I'm doing a change of pace and doing movie reviews the whole time, you know, so I've been doing a little change of pace and doing anime reviews for a change, so. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed my whole journey from reviewing of Yashahime, and I hope you enjoyed my review of reviewing the series of My Dress Up Darling. And now we'll have to do the closure of the finale of the Genius Princess Guide. And we'll have to go from there then. So, but anyway, My Dress Up Darling, Marin, Gojo, everything about the show, fantastic, awesome, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Like I said, all the praise I can give about the show. And so it's no doubt on my list of my favorite things I watched this year. And it was just awesome. Like I said, definitely need a Season 2. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the Genius Princess Guide, the finale for that. And like I said, and she says bye too. And we'll see you all later.